Hey my loves, I don't know if you all remember this, but I told you I want to be more open and honest about my mental health on here. And I also promised to talk more. I'm always a little bit scared because English isn't my first language and I'm scared to mess up and people make fun of my accent or anything. But here we go. Hi, I'm Lena. I'm 24 years old and I have borderline personality disorder. I know there's a lot of stigma going around about BPD and that I make myself vulnerable, but it's important to me to show that you can get better and that you can live a healthy life with it. I put some hard work into it and my life is not perfect all the time, but I managed to have a good life with it. It doesn't control me anymore. There was a time when my emotions were like completely overwhelming and they got the best of me. I'm like, my emotions controlled me. One part of BPD is to feel like really deeply. I live with this as long as I can remember, so I don't know how it is without. But people are always telling me I'm like over emotional and too sensitive, and so I guess it's not normal. Being sad or being angry is like completely overwhelming sometimes, especially in a relationship. I was neglected as a child and grew up in a pretty abusive household, physically and mentally. So growing up, my biggest wish was to feel seen, to feel appreciated, like someone actually wanting me. And in a relationship, I was looking for that. I wanted the ultimate, biggest proof they do love me, they care, they want me. So I manipulated them, stepping over boundaries just to see how much they'll take from me. Yeah, it was toxic. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna romanticize this. Constantly fighting yourself, being in your head, talking to yourself, all those negative thoughts, all those negative things you say to yourself, you're talking yourself down, you're disrespecting yourself. You just get kind of comfortable with the feeling of being hated because you hate yourself so much that you can't imagine anyone loves you. I lost a few friends I really cared about, I really loved, because of my behavior, my self-sabotage, because every time I found people who cared about me, I destroyed that relationship. It wasn't entirely my fault, they also did things that hurt me, but I couldn't bear the feeling of getting hurt by people I thought they loved me. One symptom of BPD is also the fear of being left. Abandonment is like the biggest trigger for a lot of people with BPD. But I realized I had to change, because when you're going around always not feeling good enough, depending on validation from others and always looking for proof that people love you, you destroy every relationship and you destroy yourself. I don't fucking know. I was miserable. I had an eating disorder because I thought being pretty was something that could give me some validation and could make people love me. I was on a treadmill for 3 hours and training abs for another 2 hours. I also self-harmed. I used to cut myself. Because, as I told you, my emotions are pretty overwhelming from time to time, and I didn't know how to cope with them. So I used it as a relief. I don't know, it kind of felt good sometimes. I don't want to go into much detail because I don't want to trigger anyone or give you any ideas, but that's just the reality. A lot of people with BPD tend to harm themselves. I spent my whole life looking for stability and peace in other people because I was so full of chaos that I forgot to be the peace myself. I can be stable. I can be the stability I need in my life. I'm the only person guaranteed to be forever in my life. I have to be the stable person in my life. There are people who can help you, but they're not guaranteed. You are. And you are worth it. You are enough. You have to learn how to love yourself. You have to learn how to accept yourself. And I try to accept the fact that I do have a mental disorder, that I have BPD, and instead of fighting it all the time and talking it down and being like, oh, it's affecting me so much, I tried to accept it as a part of me. That was the biggest step forward in my journey, I guess. And I also did therapy for a lot of years, and that was really helpful. I have to say that. People are always like, therapy, go to therapy, but they are kind of right. It helps. Another thing that really helped me was finding something to regulate my emotions and my thoughts. And for me, that's the gym. Because when I'm at the gym, just focusing on pushing hard, going to failure, counting the reps in my head, and blasting loud music, I'm not thinking about anything else. Having a place where my head is empty and my thoughts are silent is so important to me. Because I'm such an overthinker. I'm gonna rethink and overthink the same thing again and again and again and again and again and again until I go insane. Also, I told you I relied a lot on other people, and I still do rely on people, but in another way and a more healthy way, I guess. I have some pretty great friends and a loving partner. I will always be thankful for the way they are treating me because they show me love. But I also learned how to accept love and how to feel loved, so I'm very proud of that. I don't test their boundaries anymore. It's okay to rely on other people from time to time. It's okay to accept help, but they shouldn't be your whole support system. They are a part of it, but they are not all of it, you know? So be the person you want to be. Don't wait for help. Be the help yourself. Be thankful for yourself. Life's gonna start when you accept that you're enough and you live by that. And I learned that by accepting my BPD and doing the best with it, because I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it, to be honest. I love that I feel deeply, because yeah, there are those negative sides with those depressive episodes, with those mood swings, and yeah, sometimes I am overwhelmed by my feelings, but you know what? I'm also overwhelmed by the positive feelings. When I'm happy, I'm so freaking happy. I could hug the whole world. And I'm full of love, and I care so deeply. And I live. I really live. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel there are so many people just going around feeling nothing, being like absent all the time, and I'm just there. Even if it's too much sometimes for some people, but that's okay, they're not my people. I hope you can take something from this and maybe learn from it a bit. And I'm super grateful for you listening to this. I don't know why I'm so nervous. It was the first time just casually speaking to the camera for a longer time period. And yeah, but thank you for watching. I love you.